were looking for a creative idea that really stood out for us, and this ad we just think ticks all the boxes. The main character in the ad is Platypus, half mammal, half bird, bit of an oddball character, a bit like us as a bank, so we love that idea.
Thanks, I'll pick it up later.
We wanted to appeal to a younger group of people this time around and get this younger crowd to think of it as a bit innovative and different, but not trying to be too cool. Along this journey through the street that the platypus takes, he kind of just nods and sort of observes moments that kind of illustrate the points he's making about the bank, be it ease of service with the waiter throwing strangely in reverse. The whole table just lays itself magically, and that just shows you, how good they are with looking after people.
I like things a bit offbeat, me. So I bank with First Direct.
We're here at Columbia Road in the East End of London. It's full of lots of individual types of shops, and we're filming here because it absolutely represents the kind of bank that we believe we are and the kind of place that we think our little duck-billed platypus person would actually be at home in.
Action.
Have fun, man. Crank it up, Bernard.
He is a little bit of a cool dude. He likes his vintage vinyl. He knows people.
Afternoon.
Cheeky little chappy, I would say. Very friendly, but actually really knows who he is and what he stands for, and I like that about him.
They do things differently. This
idea of a bird on a tree branch doing a bit of beatbox instead of the boring old predictable chirping.
Terrifies the local cats, that one.
So I love that moment, and then we've actually created a teaser out of that.
You've not got your main character here on set, so our main character is actually going to be CGI animation. So actually, we're shooting with some fairly odd things on set. We've got a cardboard cutout of the platypus, we've got a stuffed otter standing in as well. Quite amusing to see, and then you've got to try and imagine as well how the whole thing will come together in the end. This is the first time that we've ever done anything with CGI animation, building a character from scratch. That's a really exciting thing for me to see coming to life.
We start off kind of right at the very beginning, kind of doing a sculpt of a platypus. And it's very much like sculpting it in real life, but we do it on the computer. And the next stage, we create a very rough skeleton inside, and that allows us to move him around as if he's got a real skeleton and muscles inside him. The next stage, which is quite a lengthy process, is to add the fur on top. At first, we just apply fur all over. Everything sticks up, and then we comb it into the direction. But it's a lot more complicated than that because the fur curves and curls into very complex patterns all over the platypus.
From the start, it was really essential that we got a very characteristic walk cycle, one that would really fit the platypus. It was actually quite hard to get most of the expressions into the platypus because what we wanted to avoid was to enter Disney areas and make him over-expressive. So all of the acting that we could do would have to be in the body mechanics, head motion, hand motion if possible. So for instance, we could zoom in on his hand and move it around and grab separate fingers. And move each digit independently from the other, and slowly but steadily create a nice hand gesture, for instance, or a nice head motion.
Which suits me, just your average half mammal, half bird with flippers and claws who collects second-hand vinyl.
In camera, he would be talking to you and moving his head around and moving his bill. And as he releases the egg from his body,
excuse me,
he lowers his shoulders, which basically shows us that he can relax again. He's not suffering as much as he was.
My favourite scene is just about to be shot out there at the moment. We've got a zebra coming on set. Which just ends the ad as a kind of little zebra disappearing around the corner, just as a little surreal moment that kind of goes, well, what was that, Yeah,
I know. A platypus walks into a bar. I've heard them all before.
There were lots of people tweeting about it when we were filming. It's like, this is zebra.
We don't want to be like other banks. This ad is going to prove that we're really not like other banks.
First Direct, the unexpected bank.